Welcome to a video where we will solve an application problem using inverse matrices and the Desmos matrix calculator. When you're using inverse matrices, the first thing you need to do is set up the matrix equation, which is commonly written as AX plus B. This is where A is the coefficient matrix, X is the variable matrix, and B is the constant matrix. We solve this equation by finding the inverse matrix for A and then multiplying it by B. Let's look at our example problem. In this question, we're asked to set up a system of equations, then solve it using inverse matrices. A manufacturer of portable tools has three sets: basic, homeowner, and pro, which must be painted, assembled, and packaged for shipping. The following table gives the number of hours required for each operation for each set. The table shows that basic tools require 1 hour of painting, 9/10 of an hour for assembly, and half an hour for packaging. Homeowners type tools require 1.9 hours for painting, 1.3 hours for assembly, and 6/10 of an hour for packaging. And pro tools require 3 hours for painting, 1.8 hours for assembly, and 1.1 hours for packaging. If the manufacturer has 81 hours for painting per day, 57.5 hours for assembly per day, and 30.3 hours for packaging per day, how many sets of each type can be produced for each day? So since we're looking for how many sets of each type of tools can be produced each day, I'm going to let X be the number of basic tools produced, Y be the number of homeowner tools produced, and Z be the number of pro tools produced. We also know that the manufacturer has 81 hours for painting, 57 hours for assembly, and 30.3 hours for packaging. We could actually add a fourth column to our table. This would be the total of hours available to us for painting, assembling, and packaging. So we have 81, 57.5, and 30.3 hours respectively. Now let's go ahead and write our system of equations. We're going to write one for each activity. So our equation for painting is 1 hour for basic tools, 1.9 hours for homeowner tools, 3 hours for pro tools, and we have 81 hours allocated for painting in total. For assembly, we have 9/10 of an hour for basic tools, 1.3 hours for homeowner tools, and 1.8 hours for pro tools. And we have 57.5 hours total allocated for assembly. Our equation for packaging would be we need 5/10 of an hour for each basic tool, 6/10 of an hour for each homeowner tool, 1.1 hours for each pro tool, and we have 30.3 hours total allocated for packaging. Now that we have our system of equations, all we need to do is write our coefficient matrix A. That would be the coefficients from each of our three equations. The coefficients are the number in front of variables, times our variable matrix, which would just be X, Y, and Z. And that's going to equal our constant matrix B, which is all of our constants, 81, 57.5, and 30.3. If you look back at our table, the coefficient matrix A is actually sitting right there in the table, and the hours column is our constant matrix for B. Let's go over to the Desmos matrix calculator and enter both the coefficient matrix A and the constant matrix B. When you open Desmos.com, instead of clicking the button to open the graphing calculator, you want to go up to the Math Tools pull-down menu and select Matrix Calculator. Let's click the button to add a new matrix, and we're going to enter our matrix A, which is the coefficient matrix. That's going to be a 3 by 3 matrix. So we need to click the plus button to add both a row and a column. Now it's a 3 by 3 matrix. Let's enter the coefficients for A, pressing Tab or Enter to move between each cells. So we've got 1, 1.9, 3, 0.9, 1.3, 1.8, 0.5, 0.6, and 1.1. Then click enter or hit the return button to add the matrix to the calculator. Now let's go ahead and add matrix B, which is our constant matrix. So click new matrix. B is going to have 3 rows and 1 column, and just add the constants. These are the total number of hours available to the company. Click enter to add that to the matrix calculator. And now to solve a matrix equation, we need to first find the inverse of A. So press the capital A button, that's for matrix A, and then press the inverse key to find A inverse. Now it'll show the matrix as decimals, but if you wanted to convert it to fractions, just press the button on the right to convert to fractions. Now we have matrix A inverse added to the screen. You can press enter. And now we need to multiply A inverse times matrix B and press enter. And that gives us 19, 20, and 8 as our solution. So since our answer was 19, 20, and 8, that means that they can produce 19 basic tools, 20 homeowners tools, and 8 pro tools. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.